name is Norine Sheligh Alder Braun, and I'm 60 years old. I have mixed ancestry. On my paternal side, I am Métis, and on my maternal side, I'm Ukrainian. I was born in Ottawa, and I was given up for adoption, and my family moved to Calgary, and I came to the West Coast in my mid-20s, and I've lived here ever since. I'm a musician. I identify as lesbian two-spirit. I like the idea of two-spirit and that it isn't only about sexual orientation or gender, it's also about spirituality. It's about how you encompass the world. And even though it's a relatively new term, I like that. I put my first album out in my 30s, and I remember talking to people in the music industry at the time, and they were very discouraging. They thought, well, you should have tried, you should have done it this by now. But I didn't really pay attention to that. I thought, well, I have something to say, I have something to share. I'm not gonna, maybe I won't be, Madonna, but I still have a musician, I still have a voice. It wasn't always easy. I've recorded 13 albums, and a lot of those, I think the first 6 albums were self-financed. So I worked full-time and I put all of my funding into my music. So I'm proud that I believed in myself enough to do that. Purpose is having a vision or a goal and then working toward that. Or sometimes purpose is trying to make a difference. As well, purpose is my music. So if I can combine those two things. So for example, climate change is of a deep concern to me. And I think, well, how can I contribute in some way? And so my last album, Songs for Trees, is all about the importance of trees, which are the lungs of the planet. And so my purpose in that is to try and bring an awareness to the beauty of trees, if they're not obvious to people, and how we can live sustainably, how we can save the ancient trees, how we can pick up pollution, how we can live more consciously. And so I tried to take this idea of climate change and trees and the beauty of trees and then use it with my music. As long as I'm alive, I notice that there's always twists and turns and things you can never predict. My mother passed away last year during the writing of my 13th album, and I had to take time off of that and to process that and to be with her. But 2 days after my mom passed, I get a message I had my DNA tested like 10 years ago, and just in the quest to find out who my birth father was, as I'm an adoptee, and so I wanted to at least know that. And 2 days after Mom passed, I get this message that my birth father is alive and knows about me and wants to meet me. And so it's sort of like, I thought, what? Just the timing. It was like, this is so incredible. Like, I couldn't believe that this was happening to me. So we started a relationship, and I have a brother that I met, and some aunts and cousins. And so just a month ago, I went to the PA to meet my father and to learn about my paternal birth line. Yeah, so the story is ever evolving, and that's what I like about life, is not everything's good, but things happen that you have no way of knowing. And in my case, I felt really blessed for that. So. Why are people so afraid of suffering when suffering is really part of life? If it's because it's too painful, why not work toward changing that suffering? So it seems to me like when I see people, they turn a blind, like Ukraine and homelessness and the environment. And I guess it's really a question I ask myself, like how you want to end suffering, but suffering, you can't really. Suffering is part of living. And so my question is, if it's part of living, how can we ease it at least? Or how can we at least witness it and be present for it?
Yeah. Sitting near you, looking up through the green. shafts of sunlight break through. Patient listening, you offer a bridge, a connection with all that you do. Take me with you for a